So our today's topic is Taylor and Laurent series. So first we should recall some concepts. As we know that in case of real variables, we can expand a function in terms of a series. Suppose we take a function sin x. So we know that its expansion is x minus x cube upon 3 factorial plus x raised to power 5 upon 5 factorial minus and so on. So this is the expansion of the function sin x. Similarly, we can write the expansion of cos x. Also, we can write the expansion of e to the power x exponential x. Exponential x is 1 plus x square upon 2 factorial plus x cube upon 3 factorial and so on. So we have already studied this expansion in case of real variables when we have a single variable function, a function of x, sin x, exponential x, cos x or log 1 plus x and so on. So the question is how can we find these expansions? So we have already studied these things in case of real variables and in case of two variables also, but here we find these expansion in case of complex variables. Suppose we have a function of complex variable z. Okay, so we can find these expansions by using the Taylor series. Okay. Similarly, as we have already found in case of real variables that in case of real variable, if we have to find these expansions are called Taylor expansions. If we want to find these expansions, we need the derivatives of this given function. It means the function should be differentiable and we should have some point. These expansions I have written these expansions at the point, or we can say about the point x equal to 0 or origin. But we can also find these expansion about any other point. Suppose we want to find the expansion of sin x about x equal to pi by 2. So we can also find this expansion, or expansion of e raised to power x about some point x equal to 1 in case of real variables. But here we want to find these expansion in case of complex variables. If we have a function of complex variable, or if we have complex variable z, then we want to find these expansions. Okay. So to find these expansion, first we should have some idea about the power series. So I will recall some concepts about power series. That so we will take an infinite series, of this form, of which form? In short, we can write summation n equal to 0 to infinity an z minus z naught to the power n. Okay. In short, we can write like this. And if we expand this, if we put the values of n, we put n equal to 0, it will be a0 and z minus z naught to the power 0, that will be 1. It means the first term is a0. And now summation means we have to put the plus sign, some sign. If we put n equal to 1 now, so it will be a1 z minus z naught to the power 1. Plus, if we put now n equal to 2, so it will be a2 z minus z naught to the power 2, and similarly a3 z minus z naught to the power 3 and so on. And suppose we can write for n an z minus z naught to the power n and so on, because here the value of n goes from 0 to infinity, so there will be terms up to infinity. So this is an infinite series. We can write an infinite series like this. In the extended form we can write like this, and the short form we can write like this. So this series is called a power series. This series is called a power series about the point z naught. Okay. About the point. Okay, this series is the power series, called the power series about the point z naught. Where what is this a naught, a1, a2, a3, an? These are constants. These constants may be real or complex. In case of since we are writing in case of complex variables, so these constants may be complex also. So these constants a0, a1, a2 and so on, an, these are real or complex constants. Okay. So this type of series is called a power series. So we have written this power series about the point z0. So when we write about the point z0, it means this power series should be written in the powers of z minus z0. Z minus z0 to the power 1, z minus z0 to the power 2, 3, 4 and so on. Okay, so this is a power series about the point z0. So this power series always converges about at the point z0. Okay. This series always converges. So this series always converges, okay, about, or we can say at the point z0. Since if we put z equal to z0 here, if we put z equal to z0 here, this term will be 0, this term will be 0, only we will get a0. So it means if we put z0, z equal to z0, so we will get the sum as a0. So it means we can say that this series is a convergent series at the point z0. Okay. Now we write what is the radius of convergence. Okay. So if we take a power series an z minus z0 to the power n. Okay. So we can write any power series in this form. Here we omit n equal to 0 to infinity. Whenever I write in this form, it means it is understood that this summation is from 0 to infinity. So we can omit this. Okay. We can simply write summation an z minus z0 to the power n. So if this is the power series, and suppose we take this L is equal to limit n tends to infinity mod of an plus 1 upon an. That is, we take the ratio of this mod ratio and then the limit n tends to infinity. So if we suppose this value is equal to L, then the reciprocal of this L, we represent this by capital R. So this R is called radius of convergence. So this R is called radius of convergence. Okay, the reciprocal of this L is called the radius of convergence. So what is this radius? It means we have some circle. So there is a circle. If we take a circle of radius r, this r, if we take a circle of radius r, so then this given series is convergent inside this circles. Okay. So if a given series is convergent in a circle of some radius, then that radius is called the radius of convergence. Okay. So this power series is convergent in mod z minus z0. We can write this circle as this. If the center is z0, if we take the center of the circle as z0 and radius is r, then we can write all the points inside this circle as mod z minus z0 less than r. Okay. So this is the collection of all the points inside this circle. So we say that this power series is convergent in this circle. It means it is convergent all points inside this circle. Okay. So this R is called radius of convergence and this circle is called circle of convergence. This circle, the circle, we can write as mod z minus z0 equal to r. This circle. So this circle is called circle of convergence. Okay. This circle is called circle of convergence. So now we have a result that if we have a power series which is convergent in some circle, then that power series represents an analytic function. The power series represents an analytic function which is within the circle of convergence. If we take this as circle of convergence, it means this power series is convergent at all points of this circle. Then it means this power series represent an analytic function, analytic in this circle, inside this circle. Okay, so we have this result that we can write in the form of a theorem. Okay, so we can write a power series represents an analytic function okay, inside the circle of convergence. Yeah, within its circle of convergence. That is, if we take this as power series, an z minus to the power n. So this power series represents a function, and this function is analytic. Analytic where? Analytic inside this domain. So or circle. So it means if we have a power series and if we have the radius of that power series, so that means this power series represents analytic function in the circle of convergence of that radius. Suppose the radius is r and suppose the center is z0. So it means this is analytic in this circle, mod z minus z0 equal to r. So this is a very important result. By this result, we can always represent a power series by an analytic function. So suppose we take an example, a simple example. Let us take this series z raised to the power n. Okay, it means n is from 0 to infinity. So we can expand this. If we put n equal to 0, it will be 1 plus z square plus z cube and so on up to infinite terms. Okay, so we know that this is a geometric series. We can write the sum of this geometric series. The sum will be a upon 1 minus r. So it will be 1 upon 1 minus, the common ratio here will be z. Okay, so the sum of this series is 1 upon 1 minus z. Okay, so now we can see that on the left hand side we have a power series, on the right hand side we have a function fz, and we can see that this function is analytic in the circle of radius. Suppose we take radius as 1. Okay, so this fz, suppose we take this is equal to fz. So this fz, which is equal to 1 upon 1 minus z, is analytic in, if we take this circle, a circle with center at 0 and radius 1. Okay, so you can see that if you take a circle of radius 1, means inside the points inside the circle of radius 1. So this function 1 upon 1 minus z will be analytic, because there is only a point z equal to 1 at which this function will not be analytic. The function will not be defined and hence it will not be analytic. But z equal to 1 is not inside this domain, inside this circle. Okay, so this circle, this power series represents an analytic function. Okay, represents an analytic function in this circle of convergence. Now we come to Taylor series. So if we take a function fz which is analytic inside a circle C. Suppose we have a circle C and the center is z0. Okay, and if we take the radius as r, so we can write this circle as mod z minus z0 equal to r. So if we take a function fz which is analytic inside this circle C, okay, a function fz is analytic in this circle mod z minus z0 equal to r. The radius of the convergence is r and z0 is the center of the circle. Okay, so then this circle, this function can be expressed in terms of a power series. So this function fz can be expressed in terms of a power series. How can we say that it will be a power series? So this function can be expressed in terms of this series. This is f z naught plus, then we have z minus z naught, f dash z naught, then we have plus z minus z naught square upon 2 factorial, f double dash z naught, z minus z naught cube upon 3 factorial, f triple dash z naught, and so on. And if we write some term with power n, so this will be z minus z naught upon n factorial, nth derivative at z naught, and so on. Okay, so this fz can be expanded in the form of this series. Here we can see that the first term fz naught, this will be a constant. So we can suppose this constant is a naught. Okay, so here we have derivative of this function at z naught. So this will also be a constant. We can suppose this as a1. So a1 z minus z naught plus, we can suppose this as a2. Suppose what? This whole term. We will suppose this term as a2. So a2 z minus z naught square plus, similarly a3 z minus z naught cube, and so on, an z minus z naught to the power n, and so on. Where what is an? So we can say that this an is this. Okay, nth derivative at z naught upon n factorial. So this an is nth derivative at z naught upon n factorial. So we can find all a naught, a1, a2, a3 by using this expression. Okay, so here we can say that we have written this fz in this form. Okay, so it means we can say that this is a power series, because we can write this fz as summation an in short. Okay, if we write this power in short, the series like this, an z minus z naught to the power n, where an is this. Okay, so this is a power series. It means here we have that if we have an analytic function fz in some circle of convergence, then we can express this in terms of a power series, and this series is called Taylor series. Okay, so in Taylor series we can write a function in this form where these an can be found by using this formula. An is any derivative at z naught upon n factorial. So we can say that this series is similar to in case of real variables. Okay, whenever we have a real variable, a function of x, then in that case we have any derivative at x, some x naught, and upon n factorial. We can find these an, and then we put in the series to find a function, any series of a function. Okay, so similarly in case of complex variables we can find this series. Okay. So now this function, here we have taken this function fz as analytic. So this should be noted that if this function fz is not analytic at this point z naught, okay, then it cannot be expressed as a power series, or we can say that it cannot be expressed as a Taylor series. So the analyticity of fz should be there to write it in terms of a Taylor series. Okay, and similarly if we take this z naught is equal to 0 origin, if we take this complex number z naught as 0, then in that case we can write a similar series, and that series is called Maclaurin series. Okay, so we can write that Maclaurin series as Maclaurin's series. So if we take z naught equal to 0, okay, simply if we take z naught equal to 0, then this fz will be equal to f0, this z naught is 0, so it will become f0 plus z, it will be z f dash 0. Okay, so we can write in this form that f0 plus z f dash 0 plus z square upon 2 factorial f double dash 0 plus z cube upon 3 factorial f triple dash 0, and so on, some z raised to power n upon f factorial, and a derivative at 0. Okay, and so on. And here we can write this an we can write this an as we can write this series in short as summation an z to the power n, and where an is this nth derivative and 0 upon n factorial. Okay, so this series is simply called Maclaurin series when we expand about the point 0 or origin. Here we should also note that this expansion of Taylor series is a unique expansion. So we can also find either we can find the expansion by using the derivatives of the function, or we can also find the expansion by using the binomial theorem. If it is possible, then we can also, if we can use binomial theorem, then we can use a binomial theorem to find the Taylor series expansion of a function. Now we solve this example. Expand the function fz equal to sin z. So this is a function of complex variable z about the point z equal to pi by 4 in Taylor series. So we have to find the Taylor series expansion of this function about the point z equal to pi by 4. Okay. So first of all, to expand this in Taylor series, we should have the derivatives of this function sin z. Okay. So this is fz. Now first we find the value of this at pi by 4. So f pi by 4 will be sin pi by 4, that is 1 upon root 2. Then we differentiate this f dash z. This is cos z. Okay. Now the value of this derivative at pi by 4, cos pi by 4. This is also 1 upon root 2. Then double derivative. So we can find 3 or 4 up to 4 derivatives. So f double dash cos z, derivative of cos z is minus sin z. Now the value of this double derivative at pi by 4, this will be minus sin pi by 4, that is minus 1 upon root 2. Now triple derivative at z. So sin z, derivative of sin z is cos z, so it will be minus cos z. Now triple derivative at pi by 4 minus cos pi by 4. This is also minus 1 upon root 2. And now we find one more derivative, fourth derivative of this function. So this is derivative cos z is minus sin z. So it will be sin z. And the value at pi by 4, sin pi by 4, that is 1 upon root 2. Okay. So now we put all these values in the Taylor series. So we will write this Taylor series. So here we have that we have to expand this function fz about the point z equal to pi by 4. So this fz should be equal to f pi by 4 plus z minus pi by 4 f dash pi by 4 plus z minus pi by 4 square upon 2 factorial f double dash pi by 4 plus, now we will take the cubic term, z minus pi by 4 to the power 3 upon 3 factorial f triple dash pi by 4, and similarly we can write the next term for power 4 and so on. Okay, we can write this similarly. Now we put these values, okay, here. So this is equal to f pi by 4, f pi by 4 is 1 upon root 2. So this is 1 upon root 2 plus z minus pi by 4. So we are expanding this function about the point z equal to pi by 4. Okay. So f dash pi by 4 is 1 upon root 2 plus this z minus pi by 4 square upon 2 factorial, f double dash pi by 4 is minus 1 upon root 2, and plus z minus pi by 4 to the power 3 upon 3 factorial, and f triple dash is minus 1 upon root 2, and we can write one more term, z minus pi by 4 to the power 4 upon 4 factorial, and next value is 1 upon root 2. Okay, so we can take 1 upon root 2 common from all these terms, and the remaining expansion we can write like this. So this fz is sin z. This is equal to 1 by root 2 is common. Okay, so this is 1 plus 1 by root 2 is common, z minus pi by 4 plus this 1 by root 2 is common, so it will be negative sign, minus 1 upon 2 factorial z minus pi by 4 ka square, and next term is again negative, minus 1 upon 3 factorial z minus pi by 4 cube, and next term is positive 1 upon 4 factorial z minus pi by 4 to the power 4, and so on. Okay, so in this way we can write the expansion of this function sin z about the point pi by 4. It means the function should be written in the powers of z minus pi by 4. We should not have to expand this square and cube and 4 power. Okay, we should write in the powers of z minus pi by 4. Suppose we want to write the expansion of this function about the point z equal to pi by 2. So we should write this expansion in the powers of z minus pi by 2. Okay, so we should have all these values at the point, all the value of the derivative at the point pi by 2, and then we put these values and we write in the powers of z minus pi by 2. Okay, so now we have this problem when mod z plus 1 less than 1. So this is a circle with radius 1 and center at minus 1. Z plus 1 means the center is at minus 1. So show that 1 upon z square equal to 1 plus summation equal to 1 to infinity n plus 1 z plus 1 to the power n. So we have to expand this function 1 upon z square in terms of this. Okay, so as I already mentioned that we can also use binomial theorem to expand a function or to find the Taylor series of a function. So here we will see this method, how can we use the binomial theorem. Okay, so the given function fz is 1 upon z square. Since we have to expand this function about the point, or here you can see that we have to expand in the powers of z plus 1. Okay, so we will write this z as z plus 1 and minus 1 whole square. Okay, we can write like this. Now we will write in the power of z plus 1. So we can write, if we take minus common from here, so it will be 1 minus z plus 1 and whole square. Okay, so if we take negative sign common, then we can write it will be plus, because it is a square there, so this will be 1 minus z plus 1. Okay, and now we write this as 1 minus z plus 1 to the power minus 2. Okay, we have taken this in the numerator, so we can write like this 1 minus z plus 1 to the power minus 2. So here you can see that we have written this function in the form of z plus 1, because we want to find this in this circle, or we can want to find the expansion in the powers of z plus 1. Now here we can use the binomial theorem, because this is like 1 minus x. Okay, this function is like 1 minus x the power minus n. Okay, so we know that the expansion of this binomial series as 1 plus nx plus n plus 1 x square upon 2 factorial plus n plus 1 n plus 2 x cube upon 3 factorial and so on. This is the expansion. If we have a negative sign here and if we have the negative power, then we can write the expansion in this form. And here also we see that this z plus 1 mod z plus 1 is less than 1. So we can use this binomial theorem. Okay, so now we write the expansion. Okay, so here x is z plus 1 and n is 2. So this is equal to 1 plus 2 z plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 z plus 1 square upon 2 factorial plus 2 plus 1 2 plus 2 z plus 1 to the power 3 upon 3 factorial. We can also write similarly other terms. Now we want to write in the form of this summation. Okay, so here we can write this as 1 plus this 2. We can write this as 1 plus 1, and this is z plus 1. Now here 2 factorial is cancelled. Okay, and this 2 plus 1 we can write like same as 2 plus 1 z plus 1 square plus here this is 3 into 2 6, and this will be cancelled by 3 factorial. So the remaining is 2 plus 2. So we write 2 plus 2 as 3 plus 1. So this is 3 plus 1 and z plus 1 cube. And similarly, if we want to write the next term, that will be 4 plus 1 z plus 1 to the power 4 and so on. Okay, so if we write the first one as it is, and this series except 1, we can write this as summation n equal to 1 to infinity n plus 1 z plus 1 to the power. Okay, if we put n equal to 1 here, this is 2 or 1 plus 1, z plus 1 to the power 1. If we put n equal to 2 here, this is 2 plus 1. Okay, so we can write this series in short in the form of summation as this. Here n is from 1 to infinity. Okay, and the 1 is here. So this is 1 upon z square. This is the expansion of 1 upon z square. So here we use the method of binomial theorem or binomial series to expand this function, to find the Taylor series of this function.